Breaking news. The Tennessee Titans are once again making headlines, but this time, it's not all pretty. Penalties, missed tackles, and a shaky offensive line had fans pulling their hair out. Yet, in the middle of the chaos, one thing stood out: the Titans might finally have a quarterback. Cam Ward showed flashes of brilliance, delivering throws that made every fan sit up and say, "Wait a second, do we finally have our guy?" Before we get deeper into this breaking story, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss the latest Titans news. Now, let's dive into what went down on the field, and why this game may have revealed both the biggest weakness, and the brightest hope, for Tennessee moving forward. Cam Ward isn't perfect, and Sunday reminded us of that. He missed a wide-open receiver on what was easily his worst throw of the season so far. But let's not forget, we're only 2 games in, and he's already battled in Denver's hostile environment and faced a Rams defense that just last week shut down C.J. Stroud. Against Tennessee, though, they couldn't stop Ward from connecting with Alec Manor for a touchdown, one of the few real sparks in this game. Still, the same problems keep showing up. Mistakes, inconsistency, and the feeling that Titans fans can't quite have nice things without something going wrong. And now, whispers are starting to build around the front office. Rumors suggest tension between Chad Brinker and Mike Boney, and while nothing is confirmed, it's the kind of talk that can create distractions for a team already trying to find its footing. And here's the truth: the reason Titans fans feel like we can't have nice things starts right up front with the offensive line. At moments, they showed flashes. Tony Pollard averaged more than 4.5 yards per carry and easily could have gone over 100 yards if he had been fed the ball more. But once again, the line broke down at the worst times. Penalties piled up, sacks were allowed, and Cam Ward spent far too much time running for his life. The right side of the line, in particular, has been a disaster. When injuries hit, the replacements looked overwhelmed and unprepared, leaving the offense stuck in neutral. And then comes the second issue: wide receivers who can't finish plays. Once again, Calvin Ridley let a catchable ball slip away. Sure, a defender came in and punched it out, but that's no excuse. Fundamental football says you secure it, tuck it, and protect it. Instead, it turned into another missed opportunity, and those mistakes continue to stall this offense. Once again, the passing game showed us the same frustrating story. Chig Okonkwo had another costly drop, and his impact continues to fade week after week. Tyler Lockett and Van Jefferson were visible but far from difference makers, and questions linger about Alec Manor's availability after he wasn't on the field late in the game. The reality is this wide receiver group simply isn't getting it done. Alec Manor looks like a piece worth building on, and DK is proving to be more reliable as he gets involved, but beyond that, there's very little consistency. Calvin Ridley may have led the team in yards, but he still hasn't shown that he can be the go-to option this offense desperately needs. Right now, this unit is hurting Cam Ward's growth and limiting the offense's ceiling. And here's the bigger picture: this is exactly why games keep slipping away in the fourth quarter. The roster has holes, the execution isn't sharp enough, and when it matters most, the Titans simply run out of answers. Until those problems are addressed, close will continue to be the theme instead of winning. And here's where the frustration boils over: the pass rush, or the lack of it. Once again, the Titans couldn't generate consistent pressure, and Matthew Stafford made them pay for it. The defense held on as long as it could, but without someone who can truly disrupt the pocket, it was only a matter of time before things broke down. This has been the same story for too long. Tennessee let its top pass rusher walk, brought in developmental players, and hoped for results that just aren't showing up. Sure, there were a few decent moments, but no sacks, no game-changing plays. That's why the defense continues to stall out when it matters most. Injuries have only made the situation worse. Key players who were supposed to be fine keep missing time, and while guys like Xavier Woods have stepped up with strong performances, the unit is still missing that one dominant presence up front. Without it, the Titans remain vulnerable, and games keep slipping away late. And the truth is, this problem ties back to roster decisions that still sting. Trading away A.J. Brown, missing on Treylon Burks, and failing to replace star talent with equal impact has left the Titans stuck in the middle of the pack. Until those mistakes are corrected, this team will continue to feel just one step behind. The Titans' struggles in the draft are catching up to them again. Too many first-round misses have left holes all over this roster, and now, just 2 weeks into the season, it already feels like Tennessee may be forced to spend yet another top pick on the offensive line. That's not where fans want it to be, but the lack of long-term answers up front keeps dragging this team backward. And while roster construction is a major issue, coaching hasn't been blameless either. Brian Callahan hasn't called an outright terrible game, but his offense has looked far too conservative when the Titans need points most. Add in the endless penalties, over and over again, and the discipline just isn't where it needs to be. Penalties kill drives, and when you're already struggling to move the ball, they're the difference between staying in the game and letting it slip away. At the end of the day, talent gaps and conservative play calling are keeping this team from finding any rhythm. 2 games in, and the Titans already feel like they're playing catch-up, not just on the field, but in their entire approach. That's exactly why Brian Callahan often settles for points instead of pushing the envelope. He knows the offense isn't built to consistently finish drives. But then Cam Ward delivers one of those jaw-dropping plays, rolling right, throwing across his body, and finding Alec Manor in the end zone. That kind of moment makes fans wonder, why can't we see this more often? And honestly, it's a fair question. To his credit, Callahan mixed in more screens and had stretches where the run game was working, but once Tony Pollard hit the 65 to 70-yard mark, it was like the ground attack disappeared. Drives stalled, momentum faded, and the offense once again looked stuck. The bigger truth is this: the Titans' problems go deeper than play calling. The lack of a pass rush, unreliable receivers, and shaky protection keep Cam Ward from fully showcasing what he can do. Even when he makes highlight plays, he's constantly running for his life. Ward deserves credit for battling, but asking him to carry this broken offense for 4 full quarters is too much right now. And so, once again, Tennessee found itself clinging to a slim lead late in the third quarter, only to watch it all start slipping away. The final score said 33-19, and on paper it looked like a blowout. But Titans fans know the truth: this wasn't one-sided from start to finish. For much of the game, Tennessee was right there, hanging in, with chances to change the outcome. But once again, those opportunities slipped away. Penalties didn't help. A called-back touchdown to DK killed momentum, and an unnecessary block on special teams erased what could have been a spark. It's the same story we've seen too often: lack of discipline turning big moments into setbacks. Defensively, there were bright spots, but the bigger concern showed up again: no pass rush. The Rams' top 2 receivers combined for 200 yards, and with no consistent pressure on Matthew Stafford, it became impossible to hold them down for 4 quarters. And so here we are. 2 weeks in, and the Titans are still searching for answers. Cam Ward has shown flashes of being something special, but unless this team finds consistency around him, from the offensive line to the pass rush, Tennessee will keep coming up short when it matters most. Next up, the Colts at home. Another test. Another chance. But right now, the questions outweigh the answers.